How does a broke single mom fired from Denny's go on to become America's most sought-after real estate investor? Well, that's why we have the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. Our motto for 26 is stack gold bricks in 26. I'm going to teach and share and bring you all kinds of great guests for season 8 in 2026. And we're going to learn how to stack gold bricks in 26. So you want money? We're going to get it. You want health and wisdom? We're going to get it. You want to learn everything there is to know about real estate investing? It's here. The most wonderful real estate podcast ever. Now on to the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. I'm your host, Dwan Bent Twyford, and I'm so excited to have you on the show with me today. Today, we're going to just jump right in. We're going to talk about find a deal, find a buyer. Find a deal, find a buyer, find a deal, find a buyer. We're going to jump right in. I want to talk to you about wholesaling, and I want to show you how every single one of you listening to me today could close a deal in the next 30 days. Now, how would you feel if you could make 10,000, 15, 20, 25, 30, even 5 in the next 30 days? Would that be something you'd be interested in? Yes, of course you would be. So we're going to just jump right in. That's what we're going to talk about today is finding a deal and finding a buyer. Now, if you've been listening to me in 2026, you know our motto is we're going to stack gold bricks in 26. Stack gold bricks in 26. Deal, buyer, deal, buyer, deal, buyer. That's how we're going to be doing stacking bricks in 26. A lot of you have really been following and you've been paying attention and you've been closing deals and you've been direct messaging me and letting me know how great things are going for you so far this year. So we're just going to keep that momentum rolling. We're not going to lose any momentum. And we're just going to keep the ball rolling on into March, April, May, June, July, all the way through the end of the year. So this is the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. I am in my 8th season, and we're coming up on almost 2 million downloads. Like we're really getting close. So I want you to help me get there. And the only way that happens is for you liking, subscribing, sharing, getting on my webinars, being a part of the podcast, being a part of the workshops, just everything that I have to offer, because I am here to teach you every single thing. So you can go to Dwanderful, DWANDERFUL. I took Dwan and wonderful and I made a new word, Dwanderful. So go to dwanderful.com. And I want you to take my quiz. I have a quiz. It takes about 5 minutes. It's real short. And when you go through the whole quiz at the end, it'll give you a chance to schedule an appointment with me personally. And I will give you a 45-minute strategy session. And we'll talk about what you're doing, what you plan to do, what your goals are. And we'll just talk about everything. So 45 minutes, no strings attached. I will ask you if you want to work with me, but no strings, no weirdness, no nothing, no pressure, not somebody else. I'm personally doing these for the next couple of months. So I want you to be a part of it, okay? Just be a part of it. You can't grow and do bigger and better things if you're just not part of some kind of a community. So join my community. Okay, so wholesaling is what we're going to talk about today. And I talk about wholesaling quite a bit. Just for the simple fact, it's one of the easiest things to do in real estate investing. So you find a property in distress, a homeowner that's losing their house. You get that deal under contract, and then you can sell it to a rehabber or a landlord or somebody else that will take it off your hands. So all you have to do is find it and put it together with somebody else, and you make that paycheck in between. And that paycheck in between, like I said, it can be 5, 10, 30, 35, 50 grand. It can be any amount of money. So basically, whatever the value of the house is. So if you're dealing with, like, say, a $400,000 house, you're going to expect to make about 40 grand per deal. If it's a $300,000 house, you'll make about 30. You'll make about 10%. That's kind of how it works. You'll make about 10%. If it's a $200,000 house, same. If it's a $1 million house, same. We make, as investors, we make about 10% of the value of the house. Now, I've said this several times this year already. that I want you to look in the public records. You can go online to your county courthouse and you can print out all of the active foreclosures. And I would go back about 90 days. I mean, depending on your state. Like in Georgia, the sale dates are once a month. So you can still go back because people will file bankruptcy right before the sale. So in any state, I would go back about 90 days. I would go back about 90 days and I would print out all the foreclosures. And in most of the states, it tells you the sale date. It tells you what's owed, sometimes how far behind they are, but it tells you like the value of the house. Usually it tells you what's owed on the house. Like it's really a plethora of information. So I always say start with the courthouse. I'm going to give you another one today, which a lot of people don't use, which is Craigslist. I cannot tell you how many deals, how many windows, how many air compressors, how many things, roof trusses that we have bought off Craigslist. It is, again, it's a plethora. There's so much information on Craigslist. It's shocking sometimes how much stuff's on there. But what you'll find is you'll find a lot of people that will have a house maybe for rent or for lease or for purchase, and they have it up for purchase because they don't have enough equity to have a real estate agent involved in the deal. Now, most homeowners won't rent their house, but sometimes they'll put it for rent just to try to get someone to make out the payments. They may offer it out as a lease, try to get you to lease it from them. And it's really just because they haven't figured it out yet. So people think like, oh, if it's for sale by owner or it's for lease or for rent, it's probably not going to be a deal. Well, let me tell you, it really very well could be a deal. Very, very well could be a deal. So besides the public records and looking at the foreclosures and the bankruptcies at the federal courthouse, I want you to get on there and look at Craigslist. Go through Craigslist, spend some time this weekend, look through Craigslist. First of all, see if there's any properties for you to buy and see if there's any supplies you might need if down the road you think that you might rehab. A lot of people, like I said, we bought air compressors, we bought tools, we bought 400 windows that we use in like 10 different rentals. We bought trusses for roofs. There's so many things that are available. You just have to get out and look a little harder, okay? So we're just going to stick with those two for right now. And then, of course, if you've got those I Buy Houses Cash signs already made, go stick some in the windows of pawn shops. Because people that are pawning things, according to the pawn shop owners, they said when someone comes in here and they're pawning like a gaming system or something like that, he goes, they're not in here trying to make their mortgage payments anymore. They're in here pawning to keep their water on or their electricity on or to buy dinner. And we, again, specifically work with people that are in foreclosure because they often don't have anybody else to help them. You may be thinking like, hey, I want to sell my house someday. You probably would list it with the real estate agent, which is what most people would do. But when they get into foreclosure, they often owe more than or equal to what the value of the house is. So it's a $300,000 house, they owe $300,000. So they're not thinking I can list my house. They're just sitting there like, what can I sell or what can I do to keep food on the table until the bank takes my house? So that is why I like to exclusively work with people in foreclosure, because sometimes they don't have anyone to help them. And then sometimes they have kind of the scum of the earth trying to help them and take advantage of them. So we don't take advantage, we help. And why do we help? Because if you've heard my story, I was a broke single mom, fired from Denny's, lost my card. My husband took off when my daughter was 8 months old. I lost my car. I went through a foreclosure, all my credit cards, like the whole shebang. I had the whole shebang happen to me. And nobody came. And nobody knocked on my door. And no one tried to talk to me. And no one offered any assistance whatsoever, except for my family being like, move back in with us. And I was like, oh, 30 years old. I got a kid. I don't really want to move back in with my parents. And so I didn't. And that's what got me involved in real estate investing in the first place. It's like, well, nobody came to help me. Maybe if I help other people, I could actually turn this into some kind of a business. And 35 years later, 2,000 deals, owning a town. That's what happened. So if you have anything that's happened like that, don't ever let that be a deterrent. Sometimes the best things, what is that? Where the phoenix rises out of the ashes. Sometimes rising up out of the ashes is the best thing that could ever possibly happen to you.
Hey, time for a 2-second public announcement. How would you like to have a 45-minute strategy session with me personally, and we can sit down and discuss, and no strings attached, what your real estate investing career can look like in 26 as we stack gold bricks in 26. Go to Dwanderful, DWANDERFUL, Dwanderful.com. Take my real estate investing quiz. Schedule a 45-minute strategy session with me personally, and let's see what we can do to get you going on the right track. Now, back to the show.
So you find a deal, you get it under contract, use a contract for your state. You could probably just go online and Google them. I'm sure everybody in the world has a cousin or a brother or a sister or a friend of a friend of a friend has a real estate contract. You can fill that contract out yourself because you have what's called an interest in the property. So if I have a sales contract from a homeowner and I sign it, I have an interest in the property. And the interest is I sign the contract to purchase. So I don't have to have a real estate contract or license. I don't have to have an agent. I don't have to have a real estate license. I don't have to have any of those things because I signed this contract, which gave me an interest. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? So I don't have a real estate license. I've been doing this 35 years, still don't have a real estate license. So unnecessary thing for you to get. And I'm going to get the house under contract. I'm going to give myself maybe 60 days to close on the deal. And then I'm going to try to find a buyer. Maybe it's my first deal. I'm brand new. I don't know really what I'm doing. I'm following Dwan. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to the Trifecta webinar. I'm listening to the Gold Mine half-a-day workshop. I'm learning what to do. And I decide to sell it to somebody over here. So this would be like a rehabber or a landlord. How do you find those people? Honestly, the best place is at your local REIA group, REIA, Real Estate Investors Association. Just find a local REIA group and go to the meetings. And usually they'll let you hand out a flyer and it can say, I have a house, here's the address, and meet people. You can put it in on Facebook. You can put it in Facebook Marketplace. You could put it on Craigslist. You could put it everywhere so people know that you have a property. But going to the local REIA will probably find you somebody the quickest possible. But you can also just put ads out there, I guess at Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist, on different places, and just let people know you got a house. You want to wholesale a house. You're going to wholesale it, flip it, quick turn it, whatever it is that you call it. It's called wholesaling technically, but people, try to make these new words. I'm going to flip. I'm going to, what's that word they use now where they do the transaction backwards? All the stupid reverse engineer deal. Listen, it's all the same thing. Stop falling for all that stupid stuff. It's all the same thing. Okay, just stop. And then and also at your local title company, which you can find, again, from your REIA group, you can find a local title company that all the local real estate investors close their deals and go in there and say, hey, listen, I've got a deal. I don't have a buyer. Do you have anyone? Because like my title company, they're like, hey, these are the top 5 people that close all the deals in Denver. So when I went in and talked to Arlen, I got all the phone numbers of everyone in my area. That's like the top that show up and close deals. And that's how I close deals. But of course, I build my own buyers list, but that's how I closed some of my first deals in Denver, which is going to the title company and asking. And they have a list of people who are their top people. And that gives you your chance to find someone to sell the house to. Now, you got the house under contract. You found a buyer, say from the title company. That's really a great place to find them. Also, the title company has lists of foreclosures too that they can give you. The title company is really somebody you want to have on your team. You want to meet them. You want to have a meeting. You want to take them to lunch. You want to talk and tell them what you're going to do. And you're going to promise the world, I'm going to be the best rehabber and investor slash wholesaler. And they're like, yeah, we hear that from everybody. But then you are going to turn around and become the best because I'm going to teach you how to become the best. But first, you have to do one to even get the ball rolling. So now you find a rehabber, let's say, and they're like, I'll buy the house from you. So maybe you got it under contract over here for like 200. Maybe you're going to sell it to him for 220 and make 20,000. He's going to buy it for 220. He may put 30 or 40 into it and sell it for 325. So he's going to make money. You're going to make money. The title company is going to make money. The homeowner is going to get money for moving. So you're creating a win-win situation. The homeowner gets out of their foreclosure, which is so important. The bank gets that bad debt off of its books, which is important. The title company gets to close the deal and they make money, which is important. You get to close the deal and make money, which is important. And your rehabber gets to close the deal and fix it all up and sell it, and they get to make money. And then the person they sell it to is getting a freshly rehabbed house. So they're happy. So you've created like 6 win-wins. Is that right? Let's see. Homeowner, you, bank, title, rehabber, next end user. You've created 6 win-wins because you went and found one single deal. Everybody made money. Everybody got out of a situation or into a situation like the rehabber. Homeowner's out, rehabber's in, you're making some money. So it really does create like super, super win-win situations all the way around. Now, again, people are like, I find deals on the MLS. Yeah, there's some deals on the MLS. Certainly, if you have an investor-friendly real estate agent, there's some deals. There's deals at the courthouse. You can run ads. You can put out flyers. You can put out signs. You can put signs in the pawn shop windows. You can go to the library. You can run ads on Facebook. You can run ads on Google. You can advertise everywhere. I just try to show you the things that are really simple and that work and don't cost a bunch of money, like going and getting things off the foreclosure records, free. Going into the title company, see if they have anyone to help you out, free. Going to a real estate group, if you're not a member, it may cost $25 to get in as a guest, so basically free. And then when you find that rehabber to buy the house from you, there's a lot of money in there. There's a lot of money, and there are people just begging, and I'm telling you, I still knock on doors, even to this very day. I'll go out a couple times a year, like with my daughter or my son, and we'll go knock on doors. And people are like, I can't believe you still do that. And it's like, well, you know what? That's how I learned how to do it. So I'm the best at it. I'm not afraid. And I know that people that are answering the door need so much help. And they say, oh my God, you're an angel, Juan. I've been praying and praying. And here you are. God put you on my front porch today. You're an angel. You're an angel. You're an angel. And then other people, like maybe you, are like, I would never go door knocking. If I have to door knock, I'm never going to do this business. I'm like, that's okay. Certainly entitled to your opinion. But if you want to do something that works, get your butt in your car, go knock on some doors, hand out the Fed Up package, talk to people, let them know what you do, and you'll be surprised. I've got a brand new student. He's 77. Just started with me a couple days ago, and he's like, oh, I don't know if I have to get some knock on doors. I'm an old man. I was like, dude, you're not an old man. You're 77. You're in the prime. In fact, because you're a senior, people are going to want to open the door for you because you're going to seem safe. Opposed to like when my son first started door knocking, he's 6'4", he's young, he looked like a teenager till he was 30. And he didn't, talking to people, I'm going to help you out of your deal. And I'm sure some people were looking at him like, seriously, you're going to help me out? Now, he's mid-30s, so he looks a little older, but really not that much. And my new guy, Rick, he's 77. I said, honey, you have the thing going in your favor is that you're elderly, so you're going to come across more trustworthy automatically. So it's like, okay, so he's got everything mapped up. He's going to start Monday. He's going to go knocking on some doors. I told him I'd be on the phone to kind of help him and encourage him and get him rolling. But he's rolling. He's rolling come Monday. So I'll have to keep you posted over the next couple of months of what he does. But he's got about 50 houses all mapped out. He's got it all ready. We went over and I practiced with him. Yes, verbally practiced with him because he took the quiz. He got a strategy session. And during the strategy session, I told him what to go and do, and he's out doing it this next week coming up. So take that quiz at dwanderful.com and get that strategy session, and let me talk to you. I'm telling you, I am a plethora of information. All right, so that's what we're going to do right now. You're going to do the quiz. You're going to get a strategy session. We're going to talk about it. You're going to print some things off the courthouse records. You're going to call your title company. You're going to go out, you're going to get a deal, and I'm going to help you. Because once you're in my system, I'm going to help you get that deal closed. So that's what I have for you this week. Do you want to close a deal in the next 30 days? If the answer is yes, get your butt out there and make it happen. Now, if you like the podcast today, I'm going to do the ones where I'm just by myself. I'm going to make them a little bit shorter so you can kind of listen and fun. And, you're not tied down for an hour listening to me jabber on the way that I do when I'm interviewing people. So get out there, make it happen. Do me a favor. If you had fun today, short and sweet, leave me a 5-star review, follow, please share. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Everything is Dwanderful, the Dwanderful universe. And be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And remember that the truth is in the red letters. Ciao, baby. We will talk next week.
Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. Don't forget to go to dwanderful.com, take the quiz, schedule a strategy session, watch all the podcasts, and be a part of this year. This is a really important year. We're stacking bricks in 26, and I want to help you stack as many gold bricks as you possibly can. That's only going to happen if you subscribe, leave 5-star reviews, stay tuned, share, and just let everybody know about the wonderful world of Dwanderful. And I'll see you next week.